Paul, Englewood, Florida, the great WENG. Go.
Yes, I think, Mark, you need to be reminded that this America is a country, not a corporation. These people should be...
Wait a minute, that's a good point. Let me write that down. Country, not corporation. Go ahead.
Well, you know that, or you should know it. But you keep saying, well, all these people are going to take their business elsewhere, take their corporations out of the country, or they're not going to start businesses here. But that's
I'm saying we should punish our businesses while other countries, have lower tax rates and more friendly environments so they can expand their businesses and invest and hire more people. Yeah, that's right.
But it's not a question of escaping the tax rate. As it is, they should pay it right now, not make every effort to escape.
They do pay it right now. What are you talking about? They pay the highest tax rate.
If they do
pay attention, because you're an ideologue and you're not really understanding this issue. The issue is they pay the highest tax rate in the industrialized world. They're number 32, our businesses in this country, out of 34 in the industrialized world in tax treatment. If they buy a foreign company, they can change their headquarters to the foreign company's headquarters, like Canada. That's what we're talking about. Do you understand that?
Yes, I very well know that. However, I don't think the economy is going
You just said we're a country, not a corporation. So why does the country care? Why is the company getting involved in the corporation? You just said we're a country, not a corporation.
All they're doing is trying to prevent them from leaving.
I pay attention to what I just said. We're a country. They're a corporation. You just said we're a country, not a corporation. I'm agreeing with you. So why are we getting involved in that corporation? What do we care?
Well,
I don't understand you. You don't make any sense on the left. In other words, we're a country, not a corporation. Great. Now, if we were a corporation, I guess we could do something about it, like buy it, disassemble it, do a lot of things. But we're a country, not a corporation. So as a country, a corporation has been set up. Why is that any of our business then?
Because every country has laws about the people who do business in their country.
But you're missing my point. Okay, we have laws about it. Why are we changing them? What's wrong with them?
What's wrong with them is you just said people are running offshore with the...
Nobody's running offshore. We're talking about really half a dozen, maybe a dozen companies, but they're not running offshore. They're saying, you know what? I can pay a lower tax rate if I move my headquarters to Canada, of all places, than if I keep it in somewhere in the United States. Do you believe in liberty and mobility or not?
Yeah, but I don't believe in predator capitalism.
How is that predator capitalism? They're leaving.
You've heard of offshore bank accounts?
Pay attention to what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with offshore bank accounts. It's predator capitalism. They're leaving. They're not buying up anything in America. They're leaving America. They're buying something in another country. How is that predatory capitalism?
You know, you confuse free will with predatory
Here we
capitalism.
go. You keep rambling and throwing out phrases you don't even comprehend. I'm waiting for you to talk about postmodern consumerism. Were you going to say that?
Well, listen to this.
Hold on. I'm waiting for you to talk about the new colonization of a... I've heard all these left-wing phrases. I'm way ahead of you. I know who you are. I know what you are.
The economy is not getting any better. I don't care if you put Ronald
It's not
Reagan.
getting any better because the government is consuming bigger and bigger percentage of the private market and creating economic dislocation, taking money out of the hands of productive people and putting it through laundering it through government for redistribution of wealth to achieve ideological purposes. You see, the government's acting like a predatory corporation. We don't like that, do we, pal?
No.
Get out of here, you idiot. I've debated left-wing kooks like this since I was 15 years old. They have nothing new to say. Nothing. And I'm sure he's on the dole. I'll be right back. I remember years and years ago, this is particularly to you young folks out there, when the Japanese economy was all the talk. Now, why couldn't our economy be like Japan's? And it was sort of a centrally managed, quote-unquote, capitalist system, where government and the private sector work together. Government, that is the taxpayers, subsidize this industry and that industry. And one of the great objections back then was that these Japanese companies were buying American companies in the United States. They were buying buildings. They were buying industries. They were actually putting car plants in this country, same with the Koreans and so forth. And this was to be rejected because these foreign countries and governments were taking over America. I'm not talking about communists. I'm talking about allies. They were called predatory. So they're investing in the United States, and they're called predatory. They were buying land and so forth and so on. Now, we have companies looking overseas because after 6 years of Obama, it's not just the taxes, by the way. It's the regulations. It's Obamacare. They're thinking, you know what, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Now, when companies buy companies in other countries, American companies buy companies in other countries and seek to move their headquarters there, that's called predatory. The bottom line is we have people in this country who think they should be subsidized for their entire lives, who think their health care should be paid for, who think their pensions should be paid for, who think whatever they want they should get. They don't think they should pay too much at the grocery store, pay too much at the gasoline station. They want to be subsidized. But by whom? Government? It's you. You and your children. Direct taxation and debt. And I have no more patience for these people. I've never had them in the first place. They don't create crap. Well, that is what they create. And they're a drag on society. They're not producers. They're not contributors. So they come up with these fancy phrases. Postmodern consumerism. The new colonization. I mean, we're 5% of the world and we use 25% of the world's resources. Well, who's stopping the rest of the world from using resources? Yes. Or predatory capitalism. Ooh, that sounds good. Or we need rational capitalism. It's all the same thing. Totalitarianism. Centralized government controlled by a bunch of boobs that don't know a damn thing about a damn thing. Predatory capitalism. We barely have capitalism left in this country. Government is free reign to tax us, to control us, to license us, to zone us. Capitalism, we barely have private property rights in this country. There's a pond on your backyard, the EPA and the Interior Department, or they claim the right to limit what you can do with it. Government spitting out 6,000 regulations, 6,000 regulations, thousands and thousands of pages of regulations. You start a company, you're taxed before you start a little enterprise in your basement. You got to get a license fee. They charge you for the equipment. You have a computer. You have a chair and a desk and a TV before you earn a penny. You're paying property taxes. And this jerk's talking about predatory capitalism. The problem's predatory government. You dip. Dip, whatever. Government's getting bigger and stronger. It's sucking the life out of many aspects of our civil society. And these people are still talking about predatory pricing like it's 1852 in Germany with Marx. Well, you've come a long way, baby. You ought to be really happy. We don't have a capitalist system anymore. I don't know what the hell you call it, but it ain't capitalism. When right out of the box, 25, 30, 35, 40% of what you earn goes to the government at one level or another. That's capitalism? What the hell is that? That's the mob. Predatory capitalism. Where'd you read that? Online, the daily costs. Predatory capitalism. It just amazes me how there are millions of people, ladies and gentlemen, who despise their surroundings. Despise it. On the one hand, they think we're greedy, that we produce too much, right? On the other hand, they lavish in it. How many Marxists in this country have cell phones? I bet you almost all of them. And we got social media. Social media. Well, to be involved in social media, you need a few things. You at least need a computer or some device. You need an account with somebody. Social media. The dumb bastards don't understand that social media is part of cutting-edge technology that was developed by what? Capitalism, you idiots. Not you, I mean them.